Why you should move to Dubai and not USA, UK, or Canada, or whatever name you can put on there. Let me make it clear why you should move to the Middle Eastern countries like the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and other countries on the list, and not the big countries like the USA. I know a lot of you guys wants to move to Canada, and a better life is being promised in the US, in the UK, and in Canada. And I'll tell you right now, do not do that. The best place you could ever move right now in the world is in the Middle East. And to make it clear, in this video, I want to communicate to people who want to make a lot of money, but they feel like in the environment or in the country where they are, it's just not happening, and they want to do it at a bigger country where there's a lot more economy, a lot more capital, and more opportunities to go and make it there. In this video, I'll explain to you guys why I'm saying what I'm saying. And again, if you're the guy who is just trying to make an average salary and live an average life in the suburbs, then this video is not for you. This video is for those who want to make tons of money, want to create wealth for themselves. They know they have the juice to do it, they're just at the wrong place. Number one, the reason why you want to move to the Middle East. I am in Dubai right now, and I can tell you it's so easy to get to. For you to move to any Middle Eastern country, the rules are so clear and crystal clear. It's literally 1, 2, and 3. The process is there for you to understand. If you do everything right, you will be there. You can literally move to any of these countries within 2 weeks or within a month. You're ready to go. Whereas if you compare to the US and all these other countries, it's like it takes you months or years just to get the visa and on and on and on and get to actually do it. You don't have time to waste if you want to make money. No time for an unclear process where you might wait for months and then your visa get denied and you have to try again. It's like that is some nonsense, some odd stuff. Right now, the world has changed. Modern countries have modernized the way of acquiring visas and the laws. If you pay, you're supposed to get it, but that's not how it works in the old countries. Number two, it's challenging to live in the Middle East for a lot of people, and there's a lot of reasons to this. Number one is that it's super hot, and there's also some cultural differences, but the most important challenge that people have is the perception. A lot of people think that, hey, it's so hard to move to Dubai because of their laws are so strict. You cannot do anything because it's a Muslim country, and if they're not Muslim, they think that they would struggle to fit in. I will tell you right now, that is all inside their head. I have seen the most craziest liberal way of living in Dubai than everyone else, from a dressing, spending money, alcoholics, everything is basically here that a lot of people think is what makes other countries special or more free. If you live in Dubai, you basically live a free life. Maybe it's different when you're in Saudi Arabia and Qatar, a little bit different, but in places like Dubai, you basically live like you're in any other city, even more. But because people's mental images are painted by the media, they are blocked from that perception, and therefore they lose a lot of opportunities. So if you are looking for a job, for example, or a business opportunity, and you find it in the Middle East and you're a competent person, you're more likely to get it, and you definitely have to apply. Third reason, the capital is there. There is more money in the Middle East. Just imagine Qatar made a bid to host the World Cup in 2022, and they literally built all the stadiums within 10 years that they were given to arrange this. So you cannot do this when you don't have $300 billion to spend, right? An economy that has a lot of capital definitely means that there's a lot of money exchanging hands at higher amounts. So somehow, if you end up in the middle of those transactions, you're more likely to end up with some good money as well. Another reason is that things are not perfect in the Middle East. I mean, these are fairly new countries. They might have all the money in the world, but they're still new economies. So things are a little bit patchy and not properly fixed, even though the money and the capital to do it is there. And if you're an entrepreneur, that is a great opportunity to basically make things happen and fix them and provide systems and ways to make things a little bit more robust in this region. You can make a lot of money doing that. It's the same as Africa, right? A lot of the countries are new economies, so you don't have to be a genius for you to create some sort of a business and start making money. You just have to do the right thing. Whereas if you go to the US, you go to the UK, I mean, these are old countries. They're now controlled by the big companies. They're doing every little thing. You cannot really easily compete. You have to come up with a super innovative idea to find an edge. Otherwise, everything else in those economies is covered and taken over by major corporations. Another reason is that these are growing economies and they're thirsty for growth. If you compare the UAE and the US, you can definitely feel the energy, right? These are the countries that are still young and they want growth, they want the best of everything. They build the tallest building in the entire world. Everything, they're just going for bigger. So it's the spirit that these countries have of trying to become the best in the world. They're not messing around, they're not playing around. Whereas all the other countries, they're so much caught up in the politics, on gender politics, on equality politics, racial politics, you can call it. So much nonsense that is just avoiding them from proceeding forward. So if you want to make a lot of money, you need to be in a place that is very progressive when it comes to economics. To give you an example, look at China, or you can look at the Qatar as well. For you to build something in these countries, it's so quick. If they have a mission to get it done, it will get done. You look at other economies like the UK, it takes years to build a simple skyscraper because of all the regulation that they have and the politics that they have you have to deal with. Even during the pandemic, if you look at how fast the China and also the UAE managed to build hospitals and other services to be able to support the economies, it was faster than all the other old economies. So that is the energy. That is the place that you have to be in. And lastly, there are no politics in the Middle East. Basically, nobody watches TV to look for the news and politics and arguments. Here, it's basically you're not a citizen and you know that you're not going to be a citizen at all. So purely you are focused on your work and making as much money as possible, because your money is what really matters here. It's how you can control your life. You're not a citizen, you're not entitled to any free health, free education, all that stuff that people fall for when they're going to all these Western countries. You don't have that in the UAE, so you know that you have to be on top of your game to sustain yourself and support your family. I think it's great for someone who's trying to make money. Again, for someone who is looking for an easy life, who is just trying to be satisfied with a nice little salary, free education, free healthcare and all that stuff, then you have to go to all the old economies. But I can tell you one thing, those countries are the falling empires. Old superpowers are falling right now, and now there's a rise of new superpower countries. China, the Middle East, and so on. And I think everybody who's trying to make it right now, you have to be in those regions and figuring out. I'm not saying that it's easy to settle and set up a life in those kind of places, or it's cheap. It's not. But I think for someone who is driven and they're trying to build or to create wealth for themselves, you have the best odds in the UAE. And here's the bonus point: network effects. Right now, the Middle East is where everybody goes now. How many times have you seen all the celebrities, politicians, and the rich people showing off that they're in Dubai every other week, right? Here, you will meet every single person you can think of. The network effects are so crazy. So if you're a person who's trying to network for business or for entertainment businesses or for politics even, I've met so many politicians here at the hotel lobbies like crazy and talk to them, right? Or even some very important people just randomly at a party or at a conference and so on and so forth than wherever I've ever been before. If you're trying to generate wealth, you're definitely going to need a good network of people who are important, and you can easily build that in the Middle East. All right, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you definitely on the next video. Thanks to everybody who has liked this video, who has also subscribed, and if you have any questions, leave in the comments below. I will be making more videos regarding this subject, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.